Hello everyone. We'll just take a minute and then we'll start. So I've already had 2 sessions on the virtual lawyer. The first one was related to family laws, and then the second one was with respect to Section 27 of the Indian Contract Act talking about confidentiality. Now the topic that we are going to discuss today is a unique one, but has been sensationalized in the last couple of months, I would say. I would like to start by saying that are the courts in India, including the Honorable Supreme Court of India and the other high courts and the district courts, and the courts all over the world, are they perfect? The answer would be no. Then if I say the second question, do all the courts require protection from scandalous, calumny, all these kinds of remarks? The answer is yes. Then the third question comes up, the statements which were given by the learned senior advocate recently, were they right or wrong? The answer is yes or no. I am not in a position to decide that. I am a very young lawyer. Obviously, the judges who have decided that found him to be guilty. That's what the verdict is. But when we talk about contempt law, what is this law all about? As far as India is concerned, contempt law is governed by the provision of Contempts of Court Act 1971. Now mainly there are two provisions because the contempt law can be divided into two parts. One is the civil contempt and the other one is the criminal contempt. Now as far as civil contempt is concerned, civil contempt is mentioned in section 2B of the Contempt of Courts Act. I will read section 2B for you. 2B clearly says, civil contempt means willful disobedience to any judgment, decree, direction, order, writ or other process of a court, or willful breach of an undertaking given by court. This is civil contempt. Now when we talk about criminal contempt would mean publication, whether by words spoken or written, by signs or visible representation of any matter, or the doing of any other act whatsoever which scandalizes or tends to scandalize, or lowers or tends to lower the authority of any court, prejudices or interferes or tends to interfere with the due course of any judicial proceeding, interferes or tends to interfere with or obstructs or tends to obstruct the administration of justice in any other manner. Now, if we talk about contempt law, what is the genesis of this law? In the olden times, in the British era, the concept of contempt comes from the fact that the king can do no wrong. That is the basic thing that is being taken into consideration. As far as the discussions for contempt are concerned, in the year 1986, in UK, there was a case in which Daily Mirror had published an article where they had put the picture of the judges, including Justice Lord Sidney Templeman, where they had clearly mentioned, as far as the judges are concerned, they had written, "You fools." "You fools" was written, and there was another line that was written. And the picture of the judges was absolutely upside down, ekdam ulta. In that case, why this case had come into picture was because there was a book with the name Spy Catcher, written by an author by the name of Peter Wright. Now Peter Wright was an MI5 agent. If you have seen the James Bond movies, you would know the difference between MI5 and MI6. As far as MI5 is concerned, MI5 deals with the internal security of the Britishers. MI6 deals with the internal security. Now, Spy Catcher is a delightful book. If you will read Spy Catcher, you will come to know the real reasons why this case was filed. As far as this case is concerned, in Spy Catcher, the author has clearly written as to what had really happened due to which a contempt case was filed, and the book was written because of the fact that MI5 had an apprehension that MI6 was conducting interviews, and in those interviews they were considered to be bugged by MI5. MI6 was conducting interviews that whether their agents are Soviet spies or not. MI5 thought that those interviews are bugged, but then the question that came up for consideration was, how do we tell the government that these interviews have been fixed by MI6 itself? Now, with respect to this case, Official Secrets Act was invoked, case went to court, lot of issues happened, and I just said contempt case was also brought up, where Daily Mirror, it was the headlines, "You fools," and that was for the judges. Now, just Lord Sidney Templeman had to say, as far as the statement of "you fools" is concerned, you old fools, in fact, I am old, that's a fact. But as far as me being a fool is concerned, that is your opinion, that is your prerogative to say something like this. In the end, they were not found to be guilty of contempt of court. So, when we've seen contempt laws in India as well, in generally, judges are considered to be the ones having broad shoulders, who would generally consider the apology of the person who is considered to be the contemner. Now, in a contempt case, it is not the other side who is standing in prosecution to contempt you, to consider you guilty for contempt. It is actually the judges. It is a case in which you are fighting against the court, because the court considers you to be guilty of contempt. That is why either it is the Attorney General who is going to be there, or the prosecutor in that case, who are going to basically prosecute you for contempt. Now, when we talk about the contempt law, the basic difference between civil and contempt, let's say you are filing a civil suit, and in a civil suit, an interim stay was given to you under Order 39, Rule 1 and 2, and the defendant stands in contempt according to you. It is not that you will be filing a contempt case against that person straight away. There is a specific clear provision given in the Civil Procedure Code under Order 39, Rule 2A. You will be filing the contempt application first. And in that application, in the prayer clause, you will clearly state that this matter be referred to the Honorable High Court, if the application is before the District Court, to take care of the contempt case. Now, what is really important in this case is, as far as the contempt law is concerned, generally the judges are considered to be tolerant. It is generally considered that it is not going to be a serious offense, firstly, but the protection is absolutely required. I will give you a case of Meghalaya High Court as well, in which a very learned columnist and an author by the name of Patricia Mukhim was considered to be in contempt by the Shillong High Court. In that case, she was asked to be held in the court itself till the rising of the court. That was the punishment which was given to her. Now let's consider about the Honorable Supreme Court, the decisions that have been given lately. Now, I remember a case in 1996, a journalist from the Indian Express. What had really happened was, the Chandigarh High Court was already hearing a matter, and a columnist, what he did was, from the Indian Express, he published an article where he had mistook the petition to be the order of the court. It is quite funny how he could do that, but this is what had happened. He had mistook the petition for the order of the court. Now, what did the Honorable Chandigarh High Court held in this case? It was a division bench of Justice Jawaharlal Gupta and Honorable Justice Sanjay Kishan, late Justice Jawaharlal Gupta and Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul. In this case, what had really happened was, the court said that it is not the publication, that is Indian Express, who should be held responsible for this, but the columnist was held liable for it. Obviously, they went an appeal against it to the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Mr. Arun Jaitley argued the matter, and it was held that a fine will be imposed, but there will be no imprisonment. For contempt, as per the Contempt of Courts Act, the imprisonment that is given is 6 months, and there is a fine as well. But when we say that what constitutes to be contempt and what does not constitute to be contempt, everybody has the right for freedom of speech and expression, but we all know under Article 19 of the Constitution of India, freedom of speech and expression, according to Article 19, sub-article 2, is subject to reasonable restriction. Now it is for the courts to decide what will constitute as contempt of court and what will not constitute as contempt of court. Now, if we differentiate between civil contempt and criminal contempt, in civil contempt, it would largely be an order that has been given by the court, and the opposite party is an open violation of that order. That will be regarded as civil contempt. Now, what will constitute as a criminal contempt? Supposedly, everybody has a right to dissent, everybody has a right to criticize a judgment that has been given. But when somebody just starts criticizing the judge personally and starts making scathing personal remarks, in that case the court can hold you guilty for contempt of court. Now when we talk about Supreme Court of India has the wisest 30-40 odd judges, wisest men and women who've practiced throughout their careers, who've been judges of district courts and high courts throughout their careers, and when they are, I would say, maybe at the fag end of their careers, or maybe they are still the younger generation who are Supreme Court judges, they are considered to be the wisest to be taking a decision whether a person is liable to be held in contempt or not. If you read the recent decision of the case with respect to the learned senior advocate Mr. Prashant Bhushan, it is a 108-page judgment. In that judgment, the first 90 pages have been considered to read the law with respect to the contempt law. Now, I may not even require to give you judgments over here. You can easily read the first 90 pages, have only explained what the contempt law, how the shape of contempt law has been given over the years. Now, whether it is an archaic law or whether a law like contempt law needs to be there, that you may have a different opinion, I may have a different opinion. Lot of people, lot of journalists, because journalists are the one who are generally caught off guard mostly with defamation cases, contempt cases. They have a view with respect to this that as far as the criminal part of contempt law is concerned, that needs to go. It is considered to be an archaic law. As far as the civil law of contempt is concerned, civil law should be strengthened. This is the view that has generally been taken. Now, one more thing that needs to be taken into consideration over here is, when we talk about contempt law, what is it that would actually make you fall in the category that you've been a contemner? What is the acid test to decide whether you are a contemner or not? Something that really needs to be seen is, firstly, were you, if it is a civil contempt, aware about the order of the court or not? That is the first thing to be seen. If you were aware about the order and you deliberately tried to mislead the people about that order of the court, then in that case you will be liable for contempt. Now, there is an article, in fact there is a video as well, of Mr. Shekhar Gupta of Cut the Clutter, where he has very clearly said that in a matter in Chandigarh High Court, when Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul was sitting on the bench, this is what Mr. Shekhar Gupta has been seen stating, that Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul said, ये जो contempt का law है ना, ये एक तरीके से, this is like a cat which you've kept in your bag. When anybody tries to be in the position of a contemner or somebody tries to disobey the court, what you easily do is you just take your bag, show the cat to the other person to show that this cat can bite you. But do not make that cat bite the person. So this contempt law is being used in a way to show the other person that this can be used against you if you are standing in the position of a contempt. As far as the courts in India are concerned, what my experience has been, by and large, they've been very liberal as far as contempt law is concerned. They've actually shown the position that fine, if you are standing in a position when you were aware about this order, still you disobeyed this order, we will forgive you if you are going to apologize for it. That has been by and large the attitude of the courts till now. Now look, if we talk about holding a person guilty or liable for contempt of not, what we have to basically see over here is whether the person was an obstruction of justice or not. That's one. The second thing that is to be seen is whether that obstruction tried to mislead the people or not. Recently, after the judgment that has come against the senior advocate, there has been an opinion who are saying that that judgment is absolutely correct. Then there are people who are saying that the judgment is wrong. This should not have been done in a democracy like ours. Something like this should not have been adjudicated upon. But frankly, you have a right to dissent. You have a right to admonish, criticize the judgment if you want to. But once you start personally commenting on the judges, that will be incorrect. This is what the contempt law is all about. Now, if we see the act in itself, I have read you the definitions already. After reading the definitions, as far as punishment is concerned, punishment has easily been mentioned. As far as the act is concerned, it is 6 months and there is a fine as well which will be given. Now there is a provision which I would like to read to you, that is section 16 of the Contempt of Courts Act, where if anybody would say, can a judge be held liable for contempt? So section 16 takes care of that. Section 16 clearly says contempt by a judge, magistrate or other persons acting judicially. It talks about contempt for judges. Now, one more thing that needs to be taken into consideration is, what about the other countries? Basically, the law of contempt has been taken from the British law. Now, does a country like United States of America has a law of contempt? The answer is no. United States of America does not have a law on contempt. Now, frankly, I would like to share a personal incidents with you, which I have been facing. I was doing a matter in district court in Delhi, where the defendant has clearly stood in contempt. They were aware about the order, they knew what the order was, still were being contemners in that case. We filed an application, being the plaintiffs in that case, under Order 39 Rule 2A. That application, which should have been decided in a time-bound manner, considering the fact that we were already enjoying a stay of which was granted by that honorable court under Order 39 Rule 1 and 2, the learned additional district judge did not decide on the application of Order 39 Rule 2A. In that case, we had to approach High Court against that order. When we approached the High Court stated that the defendants are in clear contempt and it is for the learned district judge to decide the application in a time-bound manner. Then that matter was remanded back before the learned ADJ, and he decided and he held that the other side was in contempt. Now again, in that case, we were asked that, are you satisfied if there is only an apology by the defendant? And we said yes, because see, frankly speaking, as far as contempt law is concerned, even if you hold a person to be liable for it, you actually cannot send that person to the gallows. There has to be a line which has to be demarcated. There has to be a full stop to things. This is what was done. The courts had shown the large-heartedness. They accepted the apology of the other side. The other side apologized. They said that they were in contempt, they were aware about it, and they will not repeat it again. So this is how the contempt law has unfolded. Now, if anybody has any questions, I would be happy to take them. Any kind of questions with respect to contempt laws. If I am in the capacity to answer, I'll answer them. I'll just scroll and check. Okay, so Kajal has a question where she has asked me if a party disobeys a stay order which is granted by a civil court and the suit is still pending, will this be called contempt or not? Now, Kajal, I'm assuming that if you're appearing from the side of the plaintiff, and if it is a suit, as far as the suit is concerned, Order 39 Rule 2A, you'll have to file an application under Order 39 Rule 2A, where you will be asking for prayers that the matter should be, if the matter is pending before the district court, then you will be asking over there that the matter should be referred to the High Court, where whether the defendant is in contempt or not, this needs to be adjudicated upon. So yes, if you ask me whether that person, it will be called contempt or not, I will say yes, it will be called contempt. You'll have to file an application under Order 39 Rule 2A. I hope that satisfies your query. If you want any follow-up question regarding the answer, you can again type it. Mr. Goyal has a question. What do you think whether the law should be scrapped or not? Now, see, Nitesh, if you are asking for my personal opinion, my belief is that criminal contempt needs to stay there. We need a law that needs to be there. Otherwise, people will start coming up with questions, or maybe they will start raising the judgments of the raising objection to judgments of the court. They will also start objecting. They will start making personal remarks against the judges. So criminal contempt should be there, but it should be sparingly used. As far as civil contempt is concerned, it needs to be strengthened, because if a court has passed an order and the parties are aware about it, even if a third party is aware about it, they should follow it. They should not disobey it. Okay, so Ajay Mishra has also asked me a question where he's asked me, what is the maximum punishment for civil contempt? It is 6 months, my friend. It is mentioned in the Act. Miss Renu Bhandari has asked me a question where she's asked me, if a party files incomplete affidavit and claims it's complete order upon court's order, will that be considered contempt? Well, I would request you to be more clear with your question, but I'm assuming if you are asking me that if a party has filed an affidavit where the affidavit they filled in is deliberately incomplete and they are trying to conceal certain facts, then it will be a case of perjury and not contempt. Contempt is where a court has passed an order and you are deliberately disobeying the order and going against it. Sir, please give an illustration of a case. Nishu has asked me, sir, please give any illustration of a case in which and how judges can contempt of court. See, my dear friend, what has really happened is, I'll give you example of a civil suit that I've been doing. We had filed a case in the name of an idol of goddess, and we had asked for permanent injunction in that case. What really happened was that in the order of the learned additional district judge, it was clearly enunciated that till the case is decided, the idol will be temporarily kept in a room, because it is a suit of mandatory injunction and permanent injunction. The other side, after being aware of the order, the defendants completely disobeyed and moved the idol from one place to the other, though they were not asked to do so as far as the order was concerned. So they are guilty of contempt, according to me. So the court can initiate contempt proceedings against them if they want to. Now Kajal has again asked me a question. If I am the defendant, then what will be done in this regard? Well, if you are the defendant, my request to you would be prima facie, if you feel that you are in contempt, then in that case, the best thing for you would be is to appear before the court, and before any argument takes place, give an unqualified apology. That whether your lordship holds me to be guilty or not, that's a different thing altogether. I am apologizing that I have not done anything, and if anything has been stated, and if the lordship feels that I am guilty of contempt, I am prima facie giving an unconditional apology. That should be the first thing, Kajal. Astha, hi Astha. Astha has asked me a question commenting on a judge in personal capacity outside the limits of the court. Should that be considered contempt of court? Now see, commenting on judge in a personal capacity. Now, if you see the latest case of in which the learned senior advocate has been held guilty of and liable for contempt of court, what was the reason behind that? Basically, those were two tweets. One of those tweets was commenting on the fact that the Honorable Chief Justice of India, without wearing a mask in the times of COVID-19, he was sitting on a Harley Davidson, and therefore Mr. Prashant Bhushan stated that in the times when the country is in a lockdown, he is basically sitting on a motorcycle and all. So the Honorable Supreme Court of India, if you closely read that judgment, they have held the learned senior advocate liable for the term that was used, that is lockdown. That is something which has been considered, and those remarks have been considered to be made personally against the Supreme Court of India and the sitting judges, and that is why he's been held guilty for contempt of court. So my answer would be yes. Janvi is saying, if you have any questions, please write in the comment sections. I think they're already doing that. Nishu says, thank you sir for taking my question. Anytime, Nishu. Any other question before we end the session? Okay, I've already answered Renu's question. Alright then, no more questions. Asta says, thank you Asta. So, I would like to thank all of you. I would also like to thank Professor Manjula Batra and Janvi Sharma for giving me another opportunity to speak on this topic, which has lately been considered to be it's become pretty sensational recently. And if anybody has any more questions after watching this session, they are free to send them to me on my personal email ID, or you can also DM me on Instagram as well if you want to. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Stay safe. The unlock has started, so I would not say that stay at home, but I would still say stay safe. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.